Slang, expressions, and sayings used in the greater Boston area. Coming to America can be a scary thing if you're not familiar with the culture, but it doesn't have to be. Even if you've learned the language, you may not have learned some common words that are not taught when learning proper English. These words are referred to as American slang and are often used in casual instead of formal situations. I'm here to teach you some of the more popular ones specific to the greater Boston area to help you in your transition to American education and socialization. So let's get started. The first slang word that we're going to talk about is probably the one that you will hear most often: wicked. Wicked is used the same way that the word very is. For example, if someone was to say, "It's snowing very hard," they could say, "It's snowing wicked hard." In the picture, the sign is telling drivers that the roads are extremely slippery by saying that they're wicked slippery. You could also use it in phrases like, "You're wicked tired," "wicked excited," or "wicked mad." It can be used to add emphasis to almost anything and say that something is more than it normally is. Normally you're happy, but when you're extra happy, you're wicked happy. Packy is the nickname for a package store. A package store is a store where you can buy alcohol such as hard liquor and wine, but not beer. In other parts of America, these stores might be referred to as liquor stores, but in Massachusetts, they're called package stores or packies. People might use the word packy in sentences like, "I'm going to the packy after work," or "I got us some wine from the packy." You will also see some stores that sell alcohol with the words package store right on their sign, which makes them easily identifiable. The word townie is used to describe someone who has lived in town their whole life or a very long time. Townies know their way around the town and are great people to ask directions from. They're great to ask about local restaurants and attractions as well. Townies are often people who not only live in town, but also work and possibly go to school there as well. Their whole lives take place in their hometown. It can be used to describe someone, such as saying, "Joey is a townie. I doubt he'll ever move away." Butts is not just a word to describe someone's rear end. Butts, or a butt, is another word for cigarette. Someone might say, "I'm going to go smoke a butt," which means that they are going to go smoke a cigarette. If someone asks for a cigarette from someone else, they might say, "Can I bum a cigarette?" Bum just means that they are asking to have a cigarette. They might also ask, "Does anyone have a butt?" The next thing you should know if you're staying in the greater Boston area is how people pronounce words. People native to the Boston area often pronounce the sound as ah. For example, instead of saying enter, they might say enta. They will do this with most words ending with the ER sound, but it doesn't change the meaning of the word. Some examples of these words are butta or butter, ladda or ladder, and flower or flower. This sound is referred to as a Boston accent and will usually be very strong with people native to the Boston area. The word selfie is used to describe a picture that you take of yourself. You might hold the camera out in front of you to take the picture, or take a picture of your reflection in the mirror. People who take selfies often post them to social media sites, such as Facebook. Someone might use it in a sentence by saying, "I'm going to take a selfie," or "I loved that selfie that you posted yesterday." The word is more often used by girls, but you can also hear it in some hip-hop songs on the radio. Cool story, bro, is a phrase that is used to make fun of something that somebody just said. It is a way to say that the story or anecdote was lame, boring, or unamusing. Cool story, bro, is often used as an insult to someone you don't like, don't want to talk to, and don't want to hear from. An example of how this phrase might be used is, I just came from the turnpike and there was so much traffic. Cool story, bro. The phrase, like a bastard, is similar to the word wicked because it is used to describe emphasis. It means something is great, awesome, or extreme. Some examples of how to use this phrase include, it's snowing like a bastard, which means that it's snowing a lot. Or, he was driving like a bastard, which could mean he was driving extremely or very fast. Or, you cook like a bastard, which is actually a compliment telling someone that they cook really well. A U-turn is what some people call a U-turn, or when someone turns around to change directions in a car, which is shown in the picture of the street sign on the right side of the screen. Banging a U-turn just means that you are taking a U-turn. In this case, banging is used to replace the word taking and just means to take. You'll also hear people tell you to use ya blinka when doing this, which is a great example of the Boston accent. Make sure to use ya blinka when you bang a U-turn. So let's review what we've learned. We learned that wicked means very. Packy is another word for a liquor store. Townie is used to describe somebody native to the town. Butts is another word for cigarette. Bum means to borrow or have. Using instead of is an example of the Boston accent. Selfie means that you take a picture of yourself. Cool story, bro, means that a story is not cool. Like a bastard is a phrase to describe something that is extreme. U-turn is used to describe when a car changes directions. And bang or banging is another word for take or taking. Now that you've learned some of the more common casual slang phrases used in the greater Boston area, I hope you can feel more comfortable interacting with your peers. But please remember that these are casual phrases that should be used with friends in casual settings and not with your professors or in formal settings. Best of luck in your education in the greater Boston area.